Welcome back, everyone. Pressing new details top off our morning rush. Police just released photos of an ATV they believe could be linked to a hit and run that left a 7-year-old boy dead. The boy and his father were leaving last night's River of Lights event. Police say they were using a crosswalk when a dark-colored off-highway vehicle ran a red light, striking the boy and his father. The father is expected to survive. A campaign to stop the surge in rent prices in Albuquerque is in full effect. The People's Housing Project is trying to get the attention of lawmakers as they fight for rent control. In New Mexico, laws ban rent control at state and local levels. Since the beginning of COVID, rent has steadily increased about 33% since 2019. In the meantime, the Senate Finance Committee has approved an amended bill spending nearly $480 million in federal stimulus funds. This trimmed-down version of House Bill 2 eliminates $5 million originally slated for game and fish and cuts another $26 million to expand broadband across the state. Erica.
Here's a look at the school day forecast. Temperatures are cold this morning, so be sure to wear all of that winter gear as you step out the door. By this afternoon, we'll be back into the mid-50s. It'll be a milder afternoon with a mix of sun and clouds.
The search continues this morning for those still missing following this weekend's deadly stretch of storms across central U.S. Several tornadoes touched down in 6 Midwestern states Friday night. Kentucky getting hit the hardest by at least 4 tornadoes touching down, one leaving a trail of wreckage more than 200 miles long. The state's governor confirming at least 50 have died. This morning, plans for more behavioral health services, including a major project at UNM, are being put on hold until next month's regular legislative session. Senate Bill 9 would allocate $50 million of the remaining American Rescue Plan money to construct a school of public health at UNM's Health Sciences Center. More news happening today. The City Finance Committee will be hearing a resolution for Albuquerque's aging population. City Council is currently discussing the so-called One Albuquerque Age-Friendly Action Plan that will boost the number of volunteers in the city's Department of Senior Affairs to help identify resources that are needed. Erica.
Here's a look at the New Mexico Threat Index. This morning, low because we do have cold temperatures, but we're quiet across the state. And this afternoon, we'll see breezes in the East Plains.
Dr. Anthony Fauci describing getting a booster dose as the optimal protection against COVID-19. However, he says for now, fully vaccinated still means 2 Moderna or Pfizer shots or a single Johnson & Johnson dose. A judge rules that the assistant director on the Rust movie set must make himself available for an interview. Assistant director Dave Hulls is responsible for handing actor Alec Baldwin the prop gun that killed the cinematographer. The request is made by the Occupational Health and Safety Bureau of New Mexico. There's still little time to help Santa fulfill a child's wish this holiday season. The U.S. Postal Service is extending the deadline on its Operation Santa program to Wednesday. Kids write a letter to Santa. It's opened by Santa's elves and uploaded to the USPS OperationSanta.com website for adoption. Erica.
All right, let's get a check on the morning drive. Here's a look at the maps. They're mostly clear with no major slowdowns. And here's a check on Tracker going west on I-40 near the Big I. Things are moving right along.
Finally, for your morning rush, 200 couples all tied the knot over the weekend on 2 beaches in a mass ceremony in Peru. Previously, they had been denied marriages during the COVID-19 pandemic. After the group ceremony, they posed for pictures on the beach. A big congratulations to them this morning.
Welcome back. On this day in 1987, 18 inches of snow fell at the Gran Quivira National Monument, which is near the Manzano Mountains, just south of Mountain Air. The highest one-day snowfall total on record of more than 100 years. Time now for the 5 facts. At number 5, dozens of kids from around the metro are all smiles this morning after getting their Christmas wishes fulfilled with the help of local officers. APD's Cops for Kids annual tradition is back. Yesterday, APD officers spent the day with dozens of kids playing top golf, getting their faces painted, and meeting Santa and Mrs. Claus. Then hundreds of children jumped into patrol units, riding in a motorcade to Walmart for a $100 shopping spree. On to number 4 now. The annual angel tree lighting at Civic Plaza scheduled for this Thursday. Local groups decorated Christmas trees yesterday to remember kids who lost their lives due to violence or abuse. Each tree holds an ornament with the child's name and their picture. Organizers say it's a way of making sure the lives of those children and their stories are not forgotten. And at number 3, it's going to be a milder day across the state, warmer than the weekend, with 50s throughout central and northwest New Mexico and 60s and some 70s across the east and south.
On to number 2 now. A campaign called the People's Housing Project is trying to get the attention of lawmakers as they fight for rent control. In New Mexico, laws ban rent control at state and local levels. But since the beginning of COVID, rent has steadily increased, making affordable housing for lower incomes much harder to find. According to a report from, quote, Wizard, the average price of rent in the state has gone up 33% since the year of 2019. The group behind the project also worked to defeat the city's $50 million soccer stadium. Finally, number 1 for you this hour. A 7-year-old boy is dead after he and his father were struck in an apparent hit-and-run crash while leaving last night's River of Lights event. Police say the child and his family were using a crosswalk at Central and Tingley when a dark-colored off-highway vehicle ran a red light, striking the boy and his father. Officials tell us the boy was dragged past the intersection. His father was transported to UNM Hospital, where he is expected to survive. No word on the condition of the boy's mom and another family member. Police released the pictures of the ATV they're looking for. You can find it on our website, krqe.com.